will happen?
It
The
won't take
captain
off.
fall. No, imagine you're in the air and the captain drop asleep.
It'll crash.
No,
You
he'll
crash.
put it on autopilot.
The autopilot.
But then, how does the
Suppose him
plane
forget.
land? How does the plane land? The captain is, I said the captain drop asleep and he can't wake up. How does the plane land? And it's in autopilot.
There's another pilot there. Is that one of them?
The co-captain, the co-pilot.
Both of them is not functional. What will happen?
The plane
It's going
won't
to crash.
wait to the airline.
No, they don't know
No,
what I get
the
and again to come.
plane
Come on, guys.
guys, the plane won't land. Think about it. It's an
Its own
autopilot.
plan,
Oh,
It's
yes,
in
true.
right?
It's going to
It's
go until
going,
it runs out of fuel.
That's true.
it's going to run out of fuel and it's going to crash. It's similar if you are on a ship and there's no captain, you won't have any direction to know. So if you set out, let's say for example the ship set out from Jamaica to let's say Panama and there's no captain, the ship might end up at Cuba. Reason being, the very first thing when building your marketing strategy, and I chose to use that example, is because you have to create a clear game plan, purpose, and your mission, right? The very first thing is ensuring that you understand what your game plan is. What is it that I want out of my marketing plan? What is it that I want to accomplish? So let's say, for example, Tiffany, I think I spoke with Tiffany one-on-one before, and Tiffany said, hey, Neville, my thing is skincare. I want to jump more into skincare. I want to sell skincare products. I want to make masks. So obviously, right off the bat, you identify that Tiffany wants to tap into that market of skincare and be the #1 seller in skincare, as well as providing masks or customer. What would be Tiffany game plan? What would be the very first thing? Sell. #1, she wants to make sales, right? But then her purpose as well is becoming trendy in skincare and ensuring that all her products are up to start. So guys, the very first thing is to have a what? Let's see if persons are listening. Britannia, what's the very first thing?
To have a plan.
Yes. And what would that plan entail?
Like where you're gonna get the resources from, like the time frame of what you want, the objectives, etc., etc.
Awesome. It's a back clap. All right. Next person. And no answer, guys, is a foolish answer. Every answer is respected. So just go. Even if you don't know, just go ahead and answer. Joy Dina. What would your plan be? What would your game plan be?
I kind of chipped out. I had to step away for a second, so I didn't hear the initial question.
Okay, what would so we are looking at the very first step of marketing, which is really creating a game plan, right? It's creating a plan that you basically map out exactly what it is that you want from social media, what you want from your business. So it's identify your vision, your mission, and everything, putting it basically on paper and following that game plan to the T. Now, along the way, some things might work, some things might not work. I might need to change the game plan. I'm asking you now, what would your game plan look like for your business?
Well, for me personally, I know I'd have to try to post stuff at a point. Well, let's say I'm using Instagram as my main marketing tool. I'd have to post stuff at a time that most persons would be on their phone, so that when I post it, persons can see it, and post in a frequent, so that persons get accustomed to seeing posts on my page.
Awesome. You basically touching into something that I totally forgot to make mention of. Also in a game plan, guys, your game plan basically is like a roadmap to success. So imagine you have your vision, your mission, everything that has to do with your business. Also, you also have a calendar, you also have the time frame, which channels you are going to use to promote your message. What are, just randomly persons can just say, can you tell me the 3 major social media platforms?
Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
No, you kind of missed out one. I would
Twitter?
say
Twitter.
yeah.
Twitter.
I wouldn't really classify LinkedIn as much of a social media. It's more like networking for me. But the three main social media now is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Alright, so guys, basically touch on number one, which is creating your game plan. The next thing for me when you're creating your social media um, strategy is finding your tone, finding your voice. Do you understand what that means?
To some extent.
What extent?
Basically, finding your tone is like who you are or what you represent as a company and trying to bring that across to the public. In what
Okay, anybody?
you say, like it all has to go with like your color scheme, the color scheme that you use, how it make people feel when they look at your stuff, just the kind of energy or overall vibe that your content puts out there.
Okay, great. You did actually listen to the one-on-one consultation.
Yes.
I,
I took it into
so,
consideration, serious consideration. Yes.
awesome. Anybody else would like to give it a shot and I say find your tone, find your voice, on social media, for your marketing. Come on, guys. There's nothing as a stupid answer. Just give it a shot. All right, Abigail. Abby,
Oh Lord. Yes.
I think you learned a lot from digital. Let's use you as an example.
Oh Lord.
When we use social media, when you say find your tone or our voice, the way we post, what is that?
Tone, I'd probably be related to the context of probably how often you post, what kind of posts that you make, if they're engaging posts, like asking, oh, what are your, in terms of my business, what are your staple products? Which products do you go for the most? Or what kind of skincare products do you go for the most? Or giving tips on what kind of products to use, when to use it, how to use it. I'm guessing that would be in terms of the tone. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Okay, great. Thanks, Abby. It wasn't I. Bits and Tashika, can you give it a shot? Your tone and your voice. What does when you hear that? What comes to mind?
The tone.
So, you want to give it a shot, Tash?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. So the tone is basically the branding, how how people come across. Like when person come across business, how does it make how attractive? How you interact with your customers, giving them, having like customer service, good customer service, that type of thing, allowing them to feel satisfied after they have bought your product or use your service, that type of thing. Yeah.
Perfect. So, guys, when you look at your tone and your voice, you're really looking at the look and feel of the page. Meaning the look and feel. Remember, number one is coming up with a clear game plan, which includes your purpose, and it has your mission and your vision and everything else. So when you're finding your tone now, guess what that means? Automatically it goes back to your purpose. Meaning, how do I want to convey my game plan? or when somebody interacts with my post, let's say for example when we're working at digital and we used to go in the communities, we used to like to take some smiley pictures of persons. We like to give that look and feel that hey, this is what the foundation is doing. So our posts were more like human, appeal to the human side, human interest photos. So people smiling, person in a wheelchair, you know, that kind of interaction, not necessarily an interaction with somebody handing over a goodie basket to someone. And when you're looking at finding your tone as well and your voice, it also includes the kind of message that you want to convey, right? So it can tend to get tricky because as a brand, there's actually a lot of ways and there's actually a lot of options when it comes down to finding your voice, but from once you can really navigate it, so some persons might want the brand to be serious. So let's say, for example, I can see if I can identify, let's take NCB, for example. I'm not sure if you ever message NCB on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, and it comes across as, hey, welcome, thank you for contacting NCB, or can we help you today? Let's say, for example, if you message a brand and they'll be like, hey Tashika, thank you for messaging our page today. Or can we be of assistant? And then you put a little smiley face, right? Then somebody reading that will be like, smiley face. And then say, for example, you're working with a skincare brand and somebody say, hey, I have terrible acne. And I'll be like, oh no, I am totally sorry. Let us help you. Give us a call. So when you connect, when you find that tone, you really find what works for you, right? There's no one tone that works. You can't say that, okay, you want one that's firm. You have some that generally just have to be serious. But then you have some that can be friendly as well. And I always say, there are social media, there are a lot of tools that you can actually use, like putting person's first name to make them feel more connected for your page. Let's say, for example, let's look at how Flow interact with their customer and how Digicel interact with their customers. So if you say Digicel and Flow is similar as well. Sometimes they can be strict when it comes down to social media. Sometimes they can go at each other, but at the end of the day, they all have this human interest side of them, right? So from once you find your tone, you find your voice, and you find how you want to really align yourself on social media, then that's key, because a lot of times how you connect with the customer also depends on if the customer will buy your product, support your product, share your product, and actually refer one of the friends for your product. No, begin again, randomly and somebody, feel like I've been talking too much. Feature. What was number 2 and what is your tone and voice like on social media? Phaedra, she's here from anymore.
Me, Phaedra?
Yes, Phaedra, sorry, my bad, I said Phaedra.
Yeah. You said you're asking me what is tone?
Yeah, what's your tone and voice? You have a business, right? What's your tone and voice like online?
Oh, as in my personal, I don't actually have a business, so.
Okay, what's your tone on social media? What's it like? What's even your personal brand? So, yeah, what's that like?
Well, I try to share encouraging stuff and positive posts, things that will encourage people and inspire people to be better. So I would say that's my tone on social media.
Okay, so yours is more inspirational and you post inspirational picture and it's more friendly that appeals to the person that, okay, at the end of the day, doesn't matter what, things will get better.
Right.
Okay, awesome. Tashika, what is your tone? No, not Tashika. Sashane, fitness gears. What's your tone and like, how do you sell or how do you market your products online? How do you interact with your customer? What's the tone like?
Well, my tone is calm and welcoming, but although now we're on a relaunch, most of my customers before, while on relaunch, although we're close to relaunch and are still selling products, is from word of mouth and quality. That's where I got 70% of my sale from. But normally when you have WhatsApp business on my phone, so normally as you text me and it's outside of business hours, you get an automatic response. Apart from that, I have generated pre-listing stuff that I text and so forth. So that's basically it. Nothing really. And I share basic simple weight loss tips and those kind of stuff.
Okay, awesome. Great. All right, so just jumping into it, so guys, number one was for me, and then I just named 5 that I use personally. There's a plethora of options, of tips that you can really look at, but it all depends on you and your business and what works best for you. So while I'm naming 5, there are other options out there as well. So for me, the first thing when jumping into a marketing is looking at my purpose, creating a game plan, looking at how we're going to achieve it. Then the second thing is looking at my tone and voice. How do I want to interact with my customer? Friendly? Is it going to be, uptight? Is it going to be smiley face? It all depends. Then the third thing for me, after I've looked at my game plan, after I've identified my tone and my voice and everything, third thing is looking at each social media as a separate entity, right? Separate entity in the fact that Facebook is different from Instagram, Instagram is different from Twitter, and Twitter is different from YouTube. Each of them have a specific target market. So let's break it down. For me, when I say treating each channel as a separate entity, even LinkedIn as well, you can show in LinkedIn. So let's start with Facebook. Facebook for me, from what I've seen and from what the data I've shown, especially when you look at the analytics behind the scene, Facebook is now geared towards the older folks. Now, a lot of young people use it, don't get me wrong, but a lot of businesses now using Facebook more than ever, especially in the global pandemic, right? So when you look at the age group of persons that interact on Facebook, it's more like between the ages of 35 to 60, and businesses, corporations, small businesses as well. Instagram is more geared towards the younger generation that Instagram is more visual. Visual meaning, let's say, for example, you're posting food, you're posting fitness, you're posting skincare, or when persons actually see someone jumping, skipping, when they see the products being applied on the face. Now remember, it can apply, both content can apply for Facebook and Instagram. This is where Twitter come in more. Twitter is more conversational. So for me, if you want one tweet can spoil a brand. I'm not sure if anyone saw the movie that came out on Netflix called Cuties. Did anyone saw that movie?
Yeah,
Did you
you see, well, when I see the movie, you know, what I heard about it, I saw it.
I heard about it. I went and researched it. Some young people in my class mentioned it to me. So I went and researched it. Some little underage girls behaving
like 6 and 7. No, it's not. It's 12. It doesn't matter.
What is it?
No, Mr. Explain to you. That movie alone and the way that Netflix positioned the movie and the graphic that came out about the movie caused Netflix stocks to go down, and a lot of persons were canceling their Netflix account. No, don't get me wrong, the message behind the movie was a good one, right? The movie has received various awards and stuff, and you look at the message, it's really about a rebellious young girl wanting to get out there, whatever, going behind family tradition. However, Netflix put out a graphic, which I myself found very distasteful, where the young ladies, the young girls, and I use this word, them skin out basically in the graphic. Excuse my language. And it to me.
Oh. Can we mute, please? Can we mute people?
Yeah. So the message behind it, and then that message, basically, the persons came out on Twitter and persons are encouraging other persons to, stop using Netflix. Now, another example of messaging is different across various channels. Let's even use Donald Trump. No, let's not use Donald Trump. Let's use the Black Lives Matter movement. If you really look at the message on Instagram compared to the message on Facebook compared to the message on Twitter, Twitter is more conversational, talking about the issues, spreading the issues. Instagram persons are posting videos, posting stuff, people are seeing it. Then on Facebook, this is where although Facebook owns Instagram, there's actually a conflict because Facebook now, as I think I made mention this before, why I don't really promote a lot on Facebook. Let's not get into that. But yeah, always treat each channel as a separate entity. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And even if your business identify which channel works best for you, Facebook might totally not work for you at all. Maybe you can post something on Facebook and you get 0 likes, 0 shares. And I post something on Instagram and you get like 1,000 likes, 500 shares. The reason being is because each channel should be treated separately. So if you realize that Instagram works for your brand, stick to Instagram. If you realize that it's Facebook, stick to Facebook. It's really about, when you come on to marketing, it's really about trial and error as well. So treat each channel as a separate entity. Now, as I usually do, pick on persons. Tiffany, what is your number one social media channel that you use to market your products? Tiffany, can you hear me?
Yes, sorry, Instagram. But my
Instagram.
account is also linked to my Facebook account, so whatever I post on Instagram automatically just goes to Facebook as well.
But which one get more traction, more engagement?
Instagram.
So if you basically say Instagram is your number one. Abigail.
I'm here. Yeah.
Which channel is your targeted channel?
Definitely Instagram. Instagram, I have like 1,000, almost 1,500 followers, and on Facebook, I have like 20 followers. So Instagram is definitely my bigger platform where I get the most traction, the most orders coming in, interaction with my customers, and so on. So yeah, Instagram definitely.
Okay, great. And lastly, let's pick on Miss Welch. Britannia. Let's pick on Britannia. Not Brittany, but Britannia.
Oh, that's Britannia Smith. Brittany Welch, in fact, she was having some difficulties. I'm not seeing her.
I don't own a business.
Okay, can I?
As yet.
Okay, as yet. Okay, cool. Jardina.
Currently, I kind of paused. Well, I just started my promotion. I'm using Instagram, but I kind of stopped because I was out of raw material and didn't want to go and post and say, hey, order your candles. And then when you order them, I'm like, hold up. So I kind of paused, but now that I've restocked, I'm back on Instagram. My Instagram is upcoming. I attempted Facebook and that did not work out for me nicely. I'm also trying to use Snapchat, even though it lasts for a limited amount of time, just so that some other persons could see it and then go over to the Instagram page. So yeah, I'm trying those two.
Okay, great. All right, so just repeating again, guys, so I can stick with everybody. Firstly, create a game plan. And a game plan is really your purpose, your vision, everything. But for our sake, we're going to call it a game plan. Then you look at your tone and your voice. Then the second thing is really looking at the channels that you are going to use. Then for me, after selecting the channels that you want to use, the third thing is how often are you going to post? What is your post schedule like? Am I going to post 1 time for the week, 2 times for the week, 3 times for the week, 5 times? What about every day? What about what time am I going to post? And it's important. I think somebody said it before. when you look at the metrics, and I think this is something that I keep mentioning, you have to be very cognizant of when persons are using their phone. When you look at the data behind it, behind the engagement of it, number one, as I mentioned previously, persons are wait. If I ask, teacher, when are you like, do you work at the school? Teacher, you on the line?
Phaedra, I think is your name you called. We have a talk about it for Charlton. Phaedra.
Guys, I do apologize.
Sorry,
Or you can call her Lisa. That would be easier for you.
I didn't hear the question. Sorry.
When are you on your phone?
Probably between 5 and 8 o'clock.
Joydina, when are you on your phone the most?
Most
Mr.
times
Charlton?
probably.
Sorry, I think your mic is a little low, so not really hearing you.
Yeah, Mr. Charlton. Yeah, you went a little low on that question. Phaedra, you were fine before, and then you went a bit low.
Okay, so Joydina,
yeah.
When are you on your phone the most?
In the afternoon or in the early morning.
Early morning. Give me time frame.
Around 6:30, between 6:30 and 8:15 thereabout, and then it would have would have been anywhere between probably 6 and 9.
Perfect, 6 and 9. Sasha, fitness gears. When are you on your phone the most?
I'm on my phone around 11 o'clock. It sounds away, but it's 11 o'clock.
In the night?
In the night.
Okay. Tiffany, when are you on the phone the most?
And the most, mine is kind of weird too, because I don't have a normal sleep schedule. I'm on my phone typically anywhere between 2 till like 2 in the morning till after 6 in the morning, any time frame there, or between like 6 or after 6 in the evening up until 11 midnight.
Okay. Tashika.
I'm not sure Tashika is back. I think she was having some difficulties.
Okay,
I'm
no
not
problem.
seeing her.
Okay, jump to Abigail. Abigail, when are you on your phone the most?
You have Abigail, you have Martin.
Typically in the afternoon, nighttime. So like say 12 to 12 p.m. Not consistently, but not usually in the mornings. Yeah.
Okay. Brittany.
Britannia. And I see where Stephanie joined us and Martin.
I'm always on my phone. So every day, all day.
Okay, so let's say for example you work or you go to school and you look at the times. Usually classes start, let's say 9 o'clock. Majority of our classes start 9 o'clock, and let's say you work at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you're on your way from work. If you take bus, if you're stuck in traffic when you're home, automatically the first thing you usually grab from, we spend a lot, as human beings, we spend a lot of time on our phone, just scrolling, looking, observing, going through things. And if you realize the trend here, a lot of persons are actually on the phone between the hours of 5 o'clock and 10 o'clock. And then you're on the phone again from 6 o'clock until 8 to 9 o'clock. So when you study that data, you study that metrics, automatically.
Neville, we're not hearing you well. Neville? I'm not sure we're not hearing you well at all.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you better now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is everybody here?
Yeah.
Hearing him well?
Okay.
The closer the better. The closer the better.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm saying when you look at the data and you look at when persons are on the phone the most, then you identify when you should schedule your post. I usually say you can schedule the early morning post, I can schedule late evening post. Late evening post meaning a post anywhere from 4 o'clock up until 9 o'clock. Reason being, at 5, 6 o'clock, persons are reading, they are relaxing, they are de-stressing, they're on the phone, they're scrolling, they're looking down, and they're like, oh, cool, this is a nice skincare product I'd like to use. A lot of the time when you're at work or you're at school, you're so preoccupied with other stuff that automatically, even when you run ads, you realize that you don't get the majority of your clicks usually come in the mornings or at late in the night, because that's when persons are scrolling through your phone. So if you can use that data, and then again, it can be different for different persons, right? But the majority of the time, a lot of persons is in the early morning and late afternoon. The reason being, they're sitting down, they're distressing, they're relaxing, and they just want to purchase something as well. But it all depends on you, and it all depends on your business. But I recommend that when you're creating your marketing strategy, you look at when you're going to post. Because if you look at when they post, it also looks at when person will engage with the content, and if person will actually want to purchase the content within that time frame. So I'd say look at when you're posting. Look at when you're posting and how often you're posting as well. So for some persons, you can post one time for the week and you're good. That one post can draw a lot of attraction. For some persons, you have to keep posting regularly. You know what they say, out of sight, out of what? Come on, guys. Out of sight, out of
mind.
Out of sight, out of mind, guys. And the way the metrics work, if you don't post, automatically your content get pushed down to the bottom. So the more you post and the more persons engage with the content, the more it will pop up to the top of the feed. So post often or post regularly. You can post 3 times a week. There are some persons that like to post every single day. If you're going to post every single day, ensure that you create what we call a social media calendar. Clearly map out your content when you're going to post it, and also clearly map out your captions. I can also schedule your posts, especially on Facebook. I can create drafts on Instagram. Reason being, we are all busy human beings. We might have to rush out to do something and we totally forget. If you have it, you can just schedule it, post. It's good, right? You leave it. Same thing for Instagram. You create the draft, you leave it, you post. Same thing for Twitter. Twitter now have the option where you can also schedule the tweets. So guys, look at when you're going to post and how often you are going to post. Then for me, the last thing when you're looking at your content or creating your strategy, anyone can tell me what the very after you have created the game plan, you stick to it. You look at the tone and your voice. You look at the channels in which you're going to use, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and then you look at how often you're going to post. When you post it, right? What is the very final thing I think this is the most important thing to look at. Anybody can tell me the host will give them $100 credit. Gabriel and I can't remember her name. Host will give me $100 credit. Come on, guys. The very last thing. No answer is a stupid answer.
The creativity of how it's posted.
Creativity of how it's posted. I want some more options.
Having integrity.
Integrity, I want some more options.
What was the question? Could you repeat the question?
After you have created a game plan, right? You have stick to it, you have included your vision, your mission, your roadmap, how you're going to achieve it. Then you look at it, look and feel, your tone of how you're going to engage with the customers online. Then you select the channels where you're going to post. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. A lot of persons now using Snapchat and stuff like that. And then you look at how often you're going to post and how regular you're going to post as well. What is the final option?
Sticking to the plan.
To execute.
Execute. Remember, you have to execute all the way through, you know. Your game plan.
After you post, engage. Don't you have to talk back to people when they message ask questions, comments, like stuff like that?
And do it on time.
That would be in your tone and voice, your look and feel of what you're going to be posting. Come on, guys. It's the most important thing. Come on, you do it.
Creating the product.
If everybody is in a business right now, if your business fail or if your business is winning, why is it that your business is failing, or why is it that it's winning? Why?
Money, profit.
No, what you need to look at.
I don't think we understand the question.
All right, let me repeat.
Stay on your phone.
Try to ask the question in a different manner. Maybe then we could do.
I will. If you have a business and it fails, what do you do? What do you look at to identify why it failed?
Talk with the customers.
Yeah.
Not the customers. It falls, customers fall into it. What?
Reassessment in general.
That's close.
Which one
is close?
One is close, the product or the reassessment?
Look at the business plan. Go back to the business plan.
Go back to the drawing board.
You monitor and evaluate your data and you look at your analytics.
Oh. That's what you're looking for? That's the response you're looking for?
That's what I'm looking for, guys.
Okay.
If you realize that after you have done all of these things and your business is either climbing or it's dropping, you have to look at why is it that my business is gaining or losing. You have to monitor. Let me use the other term. You have to monitor and evaluate your business. Meaning, social media marketing, you have to look at the data. What is influencing customers' purchase? Is it the way you post? Is it the type of content? What content works? Is it that if I post the product by itself on a white background, a black background, that person engage with it more? Is it that when I post a graphic with someone using or a model or an influencer using my product on their skin, then that product get more engagement? You always have to look at the data and try to analyze what is influencing your customers or your target market purchasing powers, or what is engaging them to come back and engage with the product. So guys, the final thing for me in a simple term is looking at the data, monitoring and evaluating it. Because if you're making sales and you don't identify why you're making sales, you're just selling. And remember, when you monitor and evaluate, if you have a game plan, at every step along the way, let's say for example, this is a ladder, right? Let's start right here, right? This is a game plan here. You're building up your game plan, right? You have built your game plan. This is your foundation. Your game plan is your foundation, right? Then, in order to achieve your game plan, you're looking at the tone and feel of how you're conveying your message. You're looking at the channels in which you're going to use for your message. Then you're looking at the look and feel. How is it that I'm engaging with my customers? After you have done all of those stuff, the final thing you have to do is reassess, reevaluate. Are these things working? Should I take a different approach? Should I use a different channel? Should I use a different strategy? Remember, no strategy is set in stone. You can always change your strategy. You don't have to be the same. You can always go and say, okay, I'm going to reevaluate this. I'm going to see what works best. Because I try identify two brands. What works for Amazon might not necessarily work for the other marketing. There's this other
eBay.
eBay. Why is it that Amazon right now is the best seller? Why? Because at every step along the way, if you watch Jeff's story, he reassess and look at making things better. Jeff started in his basement. He started selling books, but then he realized that books is doing well. I need to buy out people books and I need to add more products to it. So every step along the way, assess. Is it working? Why is it working? How can I improve? A lot of business fail because they start to make a little money or so much money, and then you're not assessing. You're not thinking outside the box and evaluating. Let's say, for example, Abigail have her skin beauty, and in a month she started to make $1 million. And she just stick to the one product because it's selling. After the month, she realized that there's a drop in it, and she's tried pushing out the bestseller. She's not assessing and saying, let me try to change my brand and see what can I sell? What different can I sell? Let's say, for example, your fitness gears. You are selling gloves and it's doing good, but 1 month something happens and you have to also look at the climate in which you are in. Now we're in a global pandemic. What will work? What will not work? So guys, remember, create a game plan. Stick to your game plan. Your game plan basically in a nutshell is like your business plan. I just call it my game plan. I think everybody had realized that. And within that, you segue into various segments as in how you're going to achieve your game plan. And the very last thing that you have to do is access your game plan. Did I win? Did I lose? Did I get a goal? Did someone score a goal on me? Did I lose? Any questions?
Yes, I have a quick question. At what point in time do you reassess and reevaluate for the game plan?
Every single step along the way. That's my suggestion for you.
Well, meaning should you after you market and you come up with all these things, should you wait like 6 months before you say, hey, it worked or it didn't work, or a year, or timely?
You see, the thing is, especially with social media, it can continuously. That's why a lot of companies, they have a marketing manager that really looks at what works, and a promotional manager look at what works. So let's say, for example, for me, every week I look at why is working, what is not working. So I have an NGO, but it's also a social enterprise. I look at engagement, right? I measure my reach by engagement. So for Instagram, if 1 week I get a post that gets 100 retweets, I feel good, right? Or let's say, for example, I make a post on my client page and that gets 5,000 to 1,000 to 3,000 views. Every week, what I do is pull on the data and see what works best and how can I improve. So it's continuous. In business, you don't have no time to rest. Well, you do have time to rest, don't get me wrong. But in business, you have to always be assessing, because remember, every single day, there's somebody coming into your market and trying to overthrow your reign. So you have to continuously reassess. And when I say when you reassess as well, it also includes looking at your competitor. What are they doing? And there's nothing wrong if you decide you're going to take something from your competitor, right? Or maybe you see a competitor using a strategy that could fit you, take it. It's marketing. So continuously reassessing, you can reassess. For me, ideally, do it every week. But if you can't, try to do it at least once a month. And you also, when you reassess, you look at the data. What is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter? How much person is saving a post? How much person is engaging with your post? Assess that. How much persons forward your post? How much persons buy your products? So for me, every week, or you can do it every month.
Okay, thank you.
So who was that just asked the question?
It was me, Tiffany.
Okay, Tiffany. Atlantis. All right, cool. Any other question, guys? Come on, ask the questions.
What do you recommend for I wouldn't say someone who is shy, but for someone who does not spend a lot of time on social media? How would you recommend they increase their reach on social media?
If you don't spend, if you don't spend a lot of time on social media and you have a business, you just have to change your mindset. Or you have any marketing friends?
Not that I'm aware of.
Remind me who I'm talking to?
It's still me, it's Tiffany.
Oh, your name not popping up on my phone. Hi, Tiffany. So what I'd say is try to identify someone that is good, and you can also ask advice. Seek a mentor. There's nothing wrong with going out and finding a mentor, someone that can assist you. You can also need to know that you need to break out a shyness. Because I know someone personally that she's very shy in going in front of camera. Like, when she see the camera, she will run. But now
What?
she's broken. when you look at your business, you have to be like, what am I willing to do for my business? It's a process. You just start small. You just start putting out some little video ads. You're just saying, okay, I'm going to try this. And if you realize that you're getting engagement, and it's also good to have a team that supports you as well, because they can be your supplement.
Boost you up.
And they're going to be a perfect example. And I'm going to use Abigail because I worked with her when I was at Digicel. When Abby came to Digicel, Abby was like the shyest person. Abby did not talk. And as I said to Abby, go and do this. Abby will sit down for the entire day and she will not talk. Right? My duty, Abby was assigned to me and my manager at the time. And I can tell you, we did use Abby. No, look at Abby now. I would like just looking at Abby and how outspoken she is. Abby, am I lying?
No, you're telling the truth. You're telling the truth.
Right?
Completely different from 2017.
She's more outspoken, even looking at some of the things. She's actually at UTech now, and I'm like looking at her status. She's more engaging and outspoken. She have her own business. So guys, it takes a gradual process. Always have people push. And sometimes Abby did not like me because we used to tell Abby, say, Abby, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that. And I used to work her. But at the end of the day, she had to do it. And for me, I think it was for the best. I was like, yo, Abby, need to get this done. My CEO used to be like, Neville, you need to get Abby to get this done. My manager was like, we need to get this done. So everybody in the department just move Abby from one place to another. So it's a gradual process, and our person that can push as well.
But sometimes it's not necessarily that you're a shy person. I don't think I'm a shy person, but because I'm not accustomed to posting on social media, I was never that kind of person to post on my Instagram. Most of my pictures are from like 2016, 2017. Now, if I post something on my personal page, I buy something from somebody and I begin them up. Outside of that, I don't post. So now when I have to post, like, so the wording of what you put on the picture, that's kind of a task.
It is.
Because I don't know what to put under the pictures. Like,
and the information on the picture, how to structure it.
So let me see if I can understand the question. How do you create compelling captions for your post or for the graphics that you are posting?
Yes.
Oh.
One, you look and feel and your tone and voice. You identify your audience. If you realize that your audience is a skincare, let's say Atlantic skincare, or is it that it's a Abigail, which is skin beauty as well, or is it that fitness? What does, remember, each market is different. What appeals to fitness junkies? Compelling pictures, find a quote, find a nice quote, think about it. Think about stuff that will be engaging. So let's say, for example, fitness gears. You post a workout, someone working out. You might say, for me, I usually say some little quirky stuff or something that I know will grab people's attention. So let's say, for example, working out. I'd Google a nice little quote and twist it. You can always Google these things. There's a plethora of posts online, but sometimes originality is good as well. So let's say, for example, I was making mention fitness. Pushing your body, there's no limit. You can achieve it. It all depends. A lot of times, for me, sometimes it might take me 2-3 hours depending on the post just to work out one caption. That's why I always say it's best to plan ahead. You have to put research into it as well. What will appeal to you? You can also put a nice quote. But I can tell you something that gradually you will get. Find a mentor. I think you guys have 2 very good mentors. I can't remember the name of the teacher on here. She seems like she's an awesome mentor. And I also have Gabby.
Auntie Camille.
Gabrielle, my bad.
No, and Auntie Camille.
Auntie Camille. They seem like 2 awesome persons. Utilize them, and they have also persons in their network that can assist you. So I said to them, Auntie Camille, someone more I'm talking about, I don't know how to do it. She can find somebody that can assist you. And it's a gradual process. After talking and engaging,
Mr. Charlton, your sound gone out again.
Yeah. I think your mic chipping in and chipping out.
No.
I don't know. You were doing good a while ago, and you sound like Mickey Mouse now. Talk again, I'm on mute. I'm wondering if you guys have to go get somebody, because as I say, I think it's a lot of it is that you can grow into it, but I think I hear like you have to have, like for instance, the Prime Minister, I don't think it's him Twitter. I don't think it's really him.
No. They have a team. All of them have a team behind them that actually does stuff like that.
Yeah, but it has the same feel and tone, because I'm listening to him as Mr. Charlton fixes volume thing. I'm listening to him and he's talking about the feel and the tone, and when you see the post from the Prime Minister's page, it kind of wants to sound like how him would have talked, you know? Or it's probably because after a while you get used to him, or, you know, used to the person who is posting for him.
Your voice don't Mr. Charlton.
It's like Mickey Mouse.
Your voice don't fix it.
Maybe you can mute and unmute, or
He did that, Abby.
He tried that a while ago.
Or maybe you want to exit and join again.
Yeah, well, what you were saying, Tiffany, is not the Prime Minister that is on it.
No, a lot of them, they have the team behind them.
It's not him still, because the truth is, him would have really, I agree it's not the word, but him really would have a lot of time.
Yeah, and then if you watch, I've watched certain shows like Madam Secretary and stuff like that. If you realize that they have people that write the speeches for them, they have people that give out the information, press conferences and stuff like that. And while they may proof it sometimes beforehand, not all the times they get to proof it, but the team behind them kind of already knows what direction they're going, what field they're going for. So it's easier for them to come up with
spend time with them. Yeah. Guys, well, I know that much. Even
still a little low, but better.
Okay, I just plugged in my earphone. Hopefully it's a little better.
Yeah, that sounds better.
That sounds better. Just turn up the volume.
Turn up the volume.
My volume is cranked. So I was in regards to the post about the Prime Minister. Is a team behind the Prime Minister. So it was headed by Robert Nesta Morgan. He's now the minister, he's the state minister in education, youth and information. Each and every, well, for the Prime Minister, he has someone that manages his page. However, a lot of the times what a good social media manager or content creator does is they study the client. Right? That's why sometimes I'm not sure if there are times when the Prime Minister falls short, his team falls short. There was this time when there was a shooting in Augustown and they went and did this video with the family right after the shooting, and they got backlash from the media, and they also got backlash from the public. There are some, just for the Prime Minister, he has a budget that he can utilize for persons. By right though, guys, the office of the Prime Minister should be disseminating the information to the public, not Andrew Holness' personal page, right? So I'm not sure if it's our taxes that pays it. However, just so you guys know, a Prime Minister, all the information should be through the Jamaica Information Service and the office of the Prime Minister. However, Andrew Holness have a very good marketing team, right? And they create compelling messages that appeals to the public. So that's one. If you're going to analyze the different communication.
But one thing, Mr. Charlton, I think that is changing with how technology is, because if you should even look at, and I mean, he's not the ideal, but I'm saying look at Donald Trump. He's forever living on Twitter. Him don't even have a team.
I think it's him. Yeah, I think it's him really.
Yes,
You understand?
is
Now
Donald
come
Trump.
true nobody.
However,
Nothing at all.
however, he falls short and he gets a lot of backlash. Does he care? No, he doesn't.
But he's a president, so
So it all
you
depends
have to know your
on
market. Or your people.
yeah, it all depends on the audience and you as a person, right? And what you want to convey on social media. So I was saying, lastly, any other question, guys? So just going down my list. So I have Ceja, Joydina, Sashine, Tiffany, Tashika, Abigail, Brittany, and Britannia. Start and Martin. Yeah, go ahead, Martin.
And a Christopher Gale joined and a Stephanie joined.
I think apart from social media, networks and actually physically visiting some of my clients is what really gonna work for me with my catering / restaurant business. Because like what I notice right now, there's a lot of call centers, especially in within Kingston. You know, I don't think them. And most of the workers, I see them walking, going Expo to go buy food, etc., etc. What I want to do, I don't know what the question to ask. Other than social media, I want to hear your view or your opinion on the other things, like literally walking in, because I hear what's her name, Raquel Brown spoke about that, you know, literally going and promoting yourself at these organizations, whether the bank or those places, you know, to just really promote your business. I just want to hear your views and your points on that, separate and apart from the social media.
So I think it also falls into what I said to you, Martin, and the one-on-one, when I said that you need to get at least one customer, and the way you're going to get it is by just taking up your phone and calling, engaging, even if you have somebody that works there, right? Branding it to them. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with you taking up the phone. You see, because of COVID now, it depends on you as well. But if you have somebody that works there, call and ask for the HR manager. Call and ask for somebody that you know can say, okay, you know, I am this type of person. Also, it's good to join various networks. So you have the Jamaica JBDC, Jamaica Business, something. I don't remember what the name. And you have other companies that support entrepreneurs, and they have a plethora of persons in the organizations. But just to hit the nail on the head of what I made mention before, there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking up the phone and calling on a business or a company and say, hey, I have this business, can I get a meeting with somebody there? It might be a little tricky, especially with businesses now. They might, you know, brush you one side, but you have to be consistent. So yeah, you can always do that. And continue calling, by the way. Sometimes they say the person is not in office, continue call.
Any
other questions before I just wrap up?
Question, Mr. Charlton. This is Gabriel.
Sure.
Could you just tell us briefly about your NGO and how we could get involved if any of us are interested in volunteering?
Okay, all right. So Youth Inspiring Positive Change is a non-profit organization that is focused on volunteering, advocacy, peace building, social change, as well as social entrepreneurship. So what we do is use volunteerism as a tool, as a means for positive change, engaging young people to get engaged in activities. So we use it, volunteerism itself, we use our space as a safe space for young people. You know, a lot of time you might be at home, you don't have anything, any activities that they can really engage in, meaningful activities. So the organization was really birthed out of the idea that I was bored at home and I really needed something to do and go out and engage. And we started volunteering with various organizations. The first place I volunteered with was Jane Foundation. Then we started volunteering with Digicel. Then we did Grace Kennedy. Then we did UNICEF. Then we started the Respect Jamaica campaign. the youth ambassador campaign that is, and then that was an initiative of Digital Foundation, but the youth ambassador was also one of our initiative as well. And then we really jump into peace building. How can young people be a part of the peace process? How can young people be actively involved? Is it looking at also political participation? Is it that young people are just given a seat at the table, but their voice is not really heard? So over a period of time, we kind of matriculated from just volunteerism into more advocacy. Advocacy, looking at gender equality, looking at peace and security. And our ambassadors, they also have various issues that they are passionate about. We also give them that platform to really jump into what they want to advocate for. So if you know you're passionate about climate change or the environment, then there's a space for you, right? And a lot of our ambassadors and volunteers have matriculated from, we take persons some as young as 13, 14, and some of majority of them are now in doctors, lawyers, teachers, nurses, police officers, you name it. It's broad. So if you want to join, currently at the moment, we're not really accepting volunteers because of COVID. And the thing is, we don't really have much activities going on now, except virtually online, but you can follow us on social media. It's at Positive RJA. We are celebrating 10 years of outstanding volunteerism, advocacy, and youth development. So this is our 10-year anniversary, positive 10th anniversary. So really excited as well. And now we are looking at the social enterprise of our business, which is really focused on communications, graphic design, social media management, social media coordination, and also getting more clients and stuff like that. So that's also one of our business that we offer. We also offer business insight as well. And we create, if you have a business and you need it to create a message, you need us to create art in the sense that you want to create videos that appeal to your audience. Then you can also come in and create that video for you at a cost, of course. So that's really what our organization is about. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We have done work locally, regionally, internationally with various organizations as well. So I think that's a mouthful. Yeah. So that's really what the organization is about. If you want to, you can always subscribe to receive our newsletter, receive updates. You can visit our webpage. It's positive.org. www.positiveje.org.
Neville, sorry to question here. How effective you think are virtual expos? We're trying to, with these such young entrepreneurs, we really want to create some buzz, even at our church, and just start off at our church and just have it spread. And we want to be able to do it in a safe way. And we want to, and thanks again for the help in ensuring that person set up their social media platforms, etc. What we also wanted to do is final launch, where we basically probably one day next month, when they set up their YouTube link, set up all their different handles, where we have a launch. How do you do that safely in COVID? Where they can start creating even more customer base, people will know what they're about, and do it in a safe way. People can see their products, handle their products, smell their products for those who have products that can be smelled, and do it in a safe way, and make some money. Of course, make some money. Nobody's in business not to make money. Yeah.
All right, so firstly, for me, there was a expo that I think is Christmas in July.
Yeah, I went online to see it.
For me, Christmas in July wasn't really all that, and that was a virtual expo. And then that's really working out the kinks and the dynamics. And me personally, I wouldn't really go to an online expo because I'm somebody that like to actually feel the products in my hand. What am I buying? What's the quality like? So there in itself pose a challenge, but that's my personal thing, that I like to feel the product, as I made mention, smell the product. and there's actually a kind of a limitation there. So if you the online would really be to bring awareness around it, and I would say if you're going to do it, do not do it in October, do it in November. You have to look at the space, do it strategically. I'm guessing a lot of, well, the majority of the entrepreneurs or the majority of the persons on the line are young people. Do it in youth month. There will be a lot of attention on young people.
November is youth month?
Yes. November is youth month in Jamaica.
November.
Yes. So do it in youth month. Do it in youth month. Because then the attention, the focus will be around youth. There'll be youth parts.
What would it look like? What would it look like? Because as I say, you're not keen on the virtual expo. But we have a big church though. We have a very big church in terms of our property. I don't know if you've ever seen it. We have a lot of rooms, classrooms. We have a nice space. And I think we have at least 10 active entrepreneurs that would have something to share.
So what you can do as well, you know, if you have a big church and there's a space there for social distancing, you can have just the entrepreneurs come in and then have someone that goes around to the different booths and the entrepreneurs talk about the product, right? Get someone influential that can promote the product as well. And if a church is a church that the persons or the members support it, you can maybe do something that if you purchase something, if you purchase something or you purchase one of the entrepreneurs or you get a service or anything, then you can get like a discount or something. But for me, I would say the virtual, right now, virtual expos are really about brand awareness and getting it out there. And the best time for me to do it is in youth month, to get somebody influential, because the entire focus will be around young people.
Somebody like who?
Influential. Okay, so I'm going to, you have Terry Carell, and I'm sure if you can reach out to Terry Carell, you could maybe reach out to Empress, or you can reach out to Kyle, I think it's Reynolds, or it could even be one of winning, but the thing is, you really want somebody that persons know. So when they push out something on their social media or they push out something on the timeline, that persons will see it and want to engage with the content. So you'd have to really if you've seen that you guys are Christian based, you can look at who is an influencer in the Christian field and how could you reach out to them. But it should be somebody that you guys can connect with, that the church itself can connect with.
Okay. But you're saying virtual expo, maybe, but definitely do something physical on site.
Yeah. So you can always have something physical because it would also be a good platform for them to be talking about the products. So if it depends on what it will be. Look, will you be getting is it that you're just going to be using Facebook, Instagram? Will you be getting a videographer to connect everything? So working out the kinks and the dynamics of a virtual expo can be a little tricky as well.
All right, how attractive are, this is just my thing, because it's about, I say about 10 active ones. I was thinking of probably having all of them, not necessarily, I can't find the best word, like a directory or a big major flyer or something that we could either email out to people, but they still have, based on the age range of the church, they have some mature people who like to touch things. So like create a beautiful flyer with all of them on it, with all of the handles on it, and what they sell. How you think that would that be something good that we could invest in, maybe?
So yeah, you can always invest in the graphic and in the flyer as well, but you have to also bear into mind what the protocols will be that the Prime Minister push up, because at some places now I think there cannot be any gathering of more than 15 persons. But the graphic is a good idea, and again, the awareness part about it is key. So let's say, for example, you have Abigail, you have Tiffany, you have Sashane, which Sashane is focused on fitness gears. So those gears could actually be there. Atlantis Skincare, her products could be there. Abigail products with skincare again could be there. Martin doing catering could be there with the graphics and flyers. In a space, socially distant, of course, in the mass, and then you have somebody with the camera going around. However, if you create that graphic with everybody's under picture and everything on it, then you can circulate it. What you can also do is a gradual launch. So let's say, for example, you do a build up, you do a kind of a excitement thing kind of coming soon, and you every week you push out something to the public. Meet Tiffany Raymond. Tiffany is a resident of whatever community. She attended this and that. She had decided to start a business in skincare because she have a passion for helping persons achieve their inner beauty, outer beauty, whatever. Push it out in that sense. Appeals to persons' product.
We
Same
kind
like
of have been doing that the last 2 months, especially at youth service. Really have done the last 2 months. I got a lot of buzz and a lot of feedback that even people wanted to come and support it, you know. And several young people were able to get some business from it as well. And people online, you know, even sent their remarks. In fact, there's one person in particular who said, why we're only doing it for youth, big people, other people want to start business too. I forgot to tell the pastor about that. I'm not into that. I'm just focusing on the young people right now. So we've been getting a lot of buzz. So like next month now, I want to, or when we do if we even decide on a November date, I say November is your month. But we have been really doing a slow build up, as I said, but I don't want to, I will whet people appetite. I want to now move to the next level where we either create a virtual flyer or something and hit our church. And not just our church, we would have literally hit the entire OBSC because we have links right across. Our current pastor is a Gensu, and he's in every church. You understand? He's a Gensu for all of OBSC. And he's in every group, you know, right across OBSC. So we could always use his phone to just send the flyer to him, and it hits other people and other places also. But I'm hoping that the young people will be ready. You understand? So if we say, all right, we'll do the full launch, and by the time you guys hit the airwaves, you have to have your products. Your business have to be up and running. You must can supply. And then another thing we wanted to fly with also Neville. Is that we want to be part of the solution to Christmas gifts. Because I think several of the items that the young people create would be ideal. Seeing that people might not be, some people might be afraid to go on the plaza to buy gifts and this, that. Based on to me, the age, the cohort at our church, several of them people there would have rather buy a nice candle, buy a little hair thing that Tiffany does, or their hair products from Abby, you know, and make a gift set. If she can make like a gift set, if they can make gift set. So, and that is why we're looking at October, November, late October, November, you know, final launch to kind of kick them off.
Okay, so timing is everything. So I would say kick it off do a launch in early November and run it straight through December. So the launch in you month, and what you guys could do as well as a church, Abby, Jordan, Lena, and everybody that have a business, you guys could put together a package together. So Abby put something in it, and you know what the cost is. Tashika, Abigail, whoever, all of the persons create a nice like a bundle package, right? And you say, support this, and so let's say, for example, one of Abigail or Tiffany product is for $1,000. you sell it for $1,200, $1,100. I said 10% of all sales goes back towards the development of the church. It goes towards whatever you guys initiative have. So you talk to the entrepreneurs firstly, of course. I said to them that this is how we're going to package it. This is how we want to sell it. We're going to appeal to people's emotional side and push it out. I create a bundle together. So you might have a little skincare. You might have a little what else is there? You might have a mask. You might have I'm not sure if Martin does like cakes or stuff like that, but you could also put, say, bundle it. So you might have a package for $6,000. So when that product is sold, I'm not sure if you Auntie could monitor that everybody gets their specific money, but then that would be good and the
Yeah.
person can individually as well. But that's just one idea that you could.
Yeah, I did something like that recently, and I realized it can work. Because as an administrator of the church, also we buy stuff, and sometimes you can do it. We have to buy different stuff. In fact, I was hoping that some of these young people, the Harvest Committee, Jordan, that they would have see some of the products and buy some of the stuff as well. Because there's a budget there. You know, but I agree with you now. We can look at it and see how we can bundle it. And I don't want to meet with the entrepreneurs and discuss even a philanthropical aspect to it. Because there's a young man who is a member of our Overcomers department, and he has some serious kidney issues, and he really needs a new kidney, and he has some serious expenses, and everybody knows him. So we wanted to.
Question, Auntie, do you guys have a social media page?
Yes.
The church itself or for the entrepreneurs?
Well, we have an Overcomers page.
Okay, so there's the Overcomers page which all of the entrepreneurs falls under.
We can put them, we can run them through there. And I know the church is also planning to redo their website.
Alright, so this is my idea now. The church, yeah. However, sometimes it's good to differentiate, just to get away from the kings of it. Because honestly, I'm an Adventist. I've been in the church for the longest while. I said this with no offense to any Adventists on the line, but sometimes us as Christians, different people look at things differently, and some Christians can be very picky when it comes down to like somebody selling skin products. Why are you going to buy skin product? Why you don't believe in the beauty of your skin? You don't need this, you don't need that. I can tell you how some Christians are, if you get what I mean, Auntie. So
yeah, man. That is why I'm running it through the Overcomers department. So
exactly,
hopefully it won't offend them young, and if them say anything, them say, oh, them young, them not so, yeah.
So yeah, so I don't want it to really go
too
much on the church social. I don't want it to go on the church social media, but if it can go on the Overcomers page where you're pushing it out. And another thing is, I think it should be like a feature each week. So I think maybe what you guys could do is create a content calendar. When are you going to push out whatever specific entrepreneur and what is compelling about them? What is their backstory like? People like to see those stories. If you ever realize the story that the star run, right? Yeah. Say for example, Martin, not saying you're from a volatile community or anything, but say for example, Martin is from, let's say, a volatile community. Martin went through the rigors of life, and now he's starting his catering company, and he is trying to get out of that. You appeal, people would be like, oh my God, Martin, tell me this, Martin. They said, wait, Tiffany is a young lady that was a single parent mother or a single father, whatever. Try to find the connections between the personal brand and the business brand and tie it in together. So when you say that, okay, Atlantis skincare is not just about beauty, it's about you as an individual, achieving your inner beauty, so picture it like that, and then get persons to engage with it. At the end of the day, it's not just you need persons to engage it, make people be resharing it on the post, connecting with it. So it's just like when the Prime Minister posts something and it go viral, we need Overcomers to go viral. So when somebody think about Overcomer, automatically Skin Beauty come to mind, or Atlantis, or Beyond Martins. you know, comes to mind, stuff like that. So
So,
automatically when I think,
so I need to, so the entrepreneurs need to have some quality photos, or what do we do? How, or we do a package link so we
I
can
think on
set
my
up
one-on-one, I
something.
tell all of them they need their professional photos and graphics. I think Tiffany, I did it with Tiffany, and I actually working at Tiffany and Martin's graphic now. But they need something that connects, something that when you look at it, the look and feel, it pops. Also have a nice, I think Tiffany
Yeah,
sent
and the brand colors and all of that.
yeah, man, they sent it to me. So I think stuff like those, when you push it out, so this entire week, and then again, entrepreneurs need to support each other. So, say, for example, there's a week that you guys is focusing on Tiffany, just push out Tiffany products on the page. This week, we'll be having a specific, so one, the Monday, you post Tiffany bio. The Sunday you post a bio. The Tuesday you post a product, maybe one product. Then the Friday you post another product. That's Tiffany week. Everybody start to reshare and share Tiffany products. Then the next week they say, okay, you're going to post Abigail. Post Abigail product, and it's try to make people start to reshare and post that. Another idea that I have as well that you guys can look into, write to CVM and write to TVJ and ask them for an interview. Let them know that you're a church and you're
We
working with
start
various.
already, you know, because there's a member of our church that actually is the, I think she's the top dog, CEO of JIS, Entros Campbell. So I'm trying to get her to do a segment on them as well. And I know the Prime Minister is big on small entrepreneurs, you know, youth entrepreneurs. In fact, since week, I said they were bigging up this like a 15-year-old pig farmer guy. And the other day they had this other, you know, they're really into young people getting into business. So I know the timing is really good for these young people. So as you said, we can find an alternative. May even go up on the Prime Minister Twitter page and write him. Come here and say, I wonder if mother just forward at church one day. Stop laughing, Martin, just pray for me. You know,
I can tell you we need to reach out to Auntie, reach out to Robert Nestor Morgan. He's very engaging on Twitter. He's the new, so let's take it step by step when you're looking at it. Just reach out to the, yeah, he's a state minister in youth and information now. It was it was it was Terry long before. No, it was Terry long before. It was Terry long. Floyd Green is the Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries, and something. But reach out to the minister, the state minister that is
I thought
directly.
about that. So I wasn't sure because I did a cabinet reshuffle recently, so I wasn't sure who was who.
Is Robert Nestor Morgan. Before it was Orlando. Reach out to persons like these and say, hey, as a state minister, you know, you maybe could reach out to Empress as well. Empress of our business, Talk Up Youth. You guys, you can maybe put the letter together and send it to me. I could shot it to the producers at Talk Up Youth talking about entrepreneurship. See if maybe you could get 2 or 3 persons, 2 or 3 entrepreneurs to go into beauty, to go into a studio to talk about why they get into entrepreneurship, some of the challenges of entrepreneurship, some of that. So I could maybe reach out to Empress to see if it's something that her team would be interested in. But reach out to organizations like that, and I know more likely Empress will say yes, and their show comes on nationwide every Saturday.
Oh, nationwide, a big station, you know.
Yeah, so you could reach out, you just draft up the letter of the entrepreneurs, you select 3 or 4 entrepreneurs that would be willing to go to studio, and you could make it happen. But yeah.
All right. Ask Gabby to just sort out that letter and we'll just shoot there as well. And just try nothing again. That's my philosophy. Nothing try, nothing gain.
Yeah,
but
let me know.
People must commit to the process. Get the products ready, get their handles ready, their card, and that is why we're hoping that people are coming to the sessions, doing the homework, doing what they need to do. Because if we do all of this thing, go ahead.
Auntie, can I tell you that there, I don't remember her name, but there are persons that got assignments from me, to grow the Instagram page, and there was somebody that I said the first thing to grow in your page is connecting to people in your personal network and let them follow your page, because a lot of times it's your personal connection that will be the greatest drivers of your business. So let's say, for example, I know Abby, and I've worked with her. If I see Abby post something, I just easily shoot it in my story, even not really putting much interest in it, but because I know a person, I'll be like, okay, shoot that in Abby's, so other persons can see it, my friends see it, they'll be like, ah, cool, like, and I ask them to promote, to repost this. And there was this young lady, I think I did tell her to grow her followers by Friday.
Yes, you did.
Wait, she's on the line?
Yes, I am.
How much followers you have?
You told me to get 100. I think it was 100 by the Friday, and I did fell short. I got by the Friday, I got like 83, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, but what he's saying is so true. Reaching out to friends, asking friends, hey, can you repost this on your Instagram, repost this on your Snapchat? It really, really helps, and it really helps to help grow your page really, really fast. Even me personally, I engage with skincare influencers, hair product influencers, and I'm having people who, do their hair on camera. They're buying like $20,000 worth of products from me in one go. So really engaging with friends, and then they connected with somebody else, and then that person, you get a skill from that person, and that person refer another friend. So that really helps too. Yeah, for real.
After that one-on-one, after that conversation that we had, I think I sent you the little thing that I drafted up to, and I wrote it up, and trust me, it worked. It really, really worked. I got a lot of people to follow me on both pages on Instagram and on YouTube. It actually really worked.
And that's just the basics, that's just you reaching out to your connection. You haven't really jumped a lot into the marketing aspect of it as well. And I think Abby said it as well. You see, when you create those personal connections, let's say, for example, you send me your thing and I'll be like, okay, sure, Tiffany is a young lady, she's trying to do this, she's trying to build her business. Why not? Support it. I shoot it in my status, and automatically my friends see it. And if I say, okay, I'm going to buy this, and I post, I use this and I use that, and it's wonderful, people that don't even notice, and they're going to be like, yo, Neville, my virgin talk, yo, what that? I want it. Me can't get it. I say, yo, just support it. See the link, they go buy it. All right, cool. They buy it. They don't know, but just because I use it, they will use it. So when you create those connections, it's really good as well. So it's good, and I'm actually happy that you grow your followers. Hope everybody are waiting on Martin now to see the growth in Martin's page and everybody else. So like persons like Abby that have 1,000 something followers, as soon as I get her, she will have to grow her page by 200, another 100. So yeah, it's really good as well, and continue to grow your pages, guys. And I know, Tiffany, what has the engagement been like? I've seen an improvement in engagement, right?
Yes and no. For the first, I think it was week that I did that, there was a lot, but it's also my fault too, because I am not confident in the content to post it. I'm going to be honest, like even when I use Canva and draft up like the things that I want to post, I'm just not confident in the look and the feel of it to post it, to be honest with you. But I still do comment with talk to people through the DMs and under the post that I do have.
But remember, you have to be consistent. Remember, that was one of the things as well. You have to be consistent. Especially for social media, because they say the moment you decide that, okay, 2 days pass, 3 days pass, and nobody not seen the family, when you post again, I'll be like, can't. But if you make 2 weeks pass, what if it just pop up in my timeline? You say you're consistent. That's why I make a share a story with you guys. Do you know why influencers post every day or every other day? And I'm going to call names. Exactly. When you look at Terry Carell, when you look at Miss Kitty, when you look at Empress, and when you look at these people, they have to continuously posting every day, because if one of the influencers decide that a month pass and they don't post, and they post, they're not going to get the same traction that they get. So they have to continuously stay relevant in the public eyes.
Yeah. That's why I had asked the question earlier, what would you suggest for someone who doesn't normally post regular on social media?
Get
Like
a
what?
mentor, or get somebody and let them help you, assist you to post regular. Get
Okay.
somebody, that can keep saying, Tiffany, you need to post, you need to post, you need to post, stiff. Get that person.
Okay.
And you can always shoot me. I'm again be very honest. I might not respond right away, but I will respond. So you can always shoot it. Say for example, you want something to go up on Friday, shoot it to me on Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, that's about it for me, guys. If you have any final questions, feel free to ask. In regards to your businesses and stuff, feel free to reach out to me as well. I love helping young people, especially when it comes on to business, growth and development. So yeah. Any last questions for me, guys, before I jump into my weekend? And as you can see, my eyes are red. I literally came home, and after that, it was like grab a little tiny piece of food I bought and then like cut and swallow. So I am dying for sleep. I've been working all day, so I am really
That's our
tired.
cute face, huh?
No man, you can ask any questions you like, any final questions. But before I go, I think I just said this before. Not sure if everybody is still on the line. So Saja, can you tell me what you learned just in 1 minute from this session? What went right? What could have been done better? Saja.
Okay. All right. For this session, I must say I learned a lot. I don't have a business yet, but what you said really, inspired me to think about it. And having a business really helps you to achieve financial independence, which is what I would want eventually. But in terms of what I learned from this meeting, just being strategic on social media, be staying relevant in what you post, appealing to people's emotions, and just trying to be strategic in terms of what times you post, what you post, how it is posted, how it is presented, and try to network and market yourself personally. So, try to connect with people, and that will benefit your business. Because, if people like you, then they're likely to buy your product and so on. So that's essentially what I learned. Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you, Saja. Joy Dina, in a minute, can you just briefly state
Being
what you
the
learned, if you
main
learned
thing
anything?
that came out was being consistent with the posting. Because as I say, I'm not somebody that normally use social media like that. So being consistent in posting. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And then Sashane, is she fitness gears? Sashane still here?
No, I don't see her, but I see Abigail is here and Tiffany is here.
Okay.
Martin is here.
So Tiffany, can you just say one thing that you learned?
One thing that I've learned again is just basically to be consistent, and to be prepared. Being prepared in the essence of having your business plan, having your content table, and sticking to the plan, execution, and to analyze afterwards to be better.
Okay, great. Is Tashika still here? I'm just going down my list. Tashika, you are still here?
No, you can chat internet issues, you would see.
Okay, Abigail?
It would definitely be the tone for me, learning about how to set the tone. Like for me, I personally have a welcoming tone. Usually when people message me, I'm just like, hey hun, hey love, yes, thank you so much for shopping with us, we hope you come again. I try to have a welcoming tone, so I'm glad I learned a little bit more about tone and how to stay consistent. For me, I'm trying to stay consistent with the posts, not as consistent as I would like, but I think I'm getting there somewhat. So consistency and tone, I think that was a very good point to me. So yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Brittany Welch.
Sugar had internet issues. Don't stare it up.
Okay, Britannia.
Okay. I learned about the business. You must have a game plan. Stick to your game plan in every step that you go through, and assess yourself whether your business growing or failing, and adjust. And always be consistent.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
and networking is important as well.
Key.
Yeah.
One is also key. Martin.
For me, what I learned, mostly what I get from the session is engagement, stepping out of your shell and really reaching out to your clients and promoting your product, being brave and believing in it, and influencing people to come on board and buy and support my business. So that's what I learned.
Okay, great. I am not, I remember Martin, the name of mine. I don't, where's on the line that would like to say? That I don't have anybody else's name here.
Gabrielle, is there?
I say Stephanie, but I'm not sure she has a business or she just listening.
Okay.
Stephanie?
Then, okay, I guess not. All right. So if there's nobody else, so guys, remember as I made mention before, create a business plan, stick to it, your business plan. Look at your tone and voice, or you talk to your client. Always think before you send something and look if it will affect them. I think also, I think it was Abigail that said it, that it depends on you or you talk to it. I know a lot of clients when they're talking to the customers, they'll be like, hey girl, yeah man, everything good. And they talk like they're talking at themselves and people really love it. But then there are some other clients that if they try that, people be like, oh no, no, no,
Exactly.
no, I am not your friend.
Exactly.
So,
What is it, Brittany?
so that's what I'm saying. You have to understand it.
Be professional.
Yes. Not
No,
type
but
of friend.
that's what I'm saying. If I want to understand your market and understand who you're messaging or texting, then you can change up your style. Not every customer might like when you say, hey love, hey hon, or saying hey love. And not every customer will be like when you do, hi, good afternoon. I personally hate when I message a page and they'll be like, good afternoon, Mr. Charlton. Be a little more easy back. And maybe that's something that I learned from Digicel. And also Flow is strictly by first name basis as well. Especially not Digicel, but Flow. It was first name basis. You have to be very informal in communication. If you ever address the CEO at Flow as, say for example, when we're working with Michelle English, you could not say Miss English or Mrs. English. Michelle, and don't say dear Michelle. Hi Michelle, you're good. That tone of voice, and it creates a more friendly tone where persons feel more to work as well. Secondly, ensure that you look at the best channel to grow your business as well. I didn't think I touched on Google, but you can also use Google as another channel. But you can, the main one, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Look at which one works best for you. Then look at the look and feel of your page, or you want it to post and how consistent. Yeah. And then finally, guys, always remember to assess, evaluate, look at what's working, look at not what's working. And you can always change up your game plan. If you realize you're going right and it's not working, go left. Maybe because you're going right, it's not working, so just go left. And if you realize that going left not working, continue straight. That might be what works. Meaning, if you realize you're using Instagram and you're posting one time a week and it's not working, start to post more often. Maybe you might see an improvement. Try out different things. It's business. Find what works for you. All of the great CEOs have done it. If you look at the growth of National, if you look at some of these big growth, company growth, they started out, they use different channels. If you look at Flow, if you look at Lime before they became Flow, they totally revamped the marketing. So remember to stay consistent. Remember the most important thing, always evaluate your company, right? And evaluating also means looking at your finances. Are you spending? Are you spending more than you're earning? Are you paying yourself? Where's the money coming from? Is there a turnover? So assessment for me and evaluation is one of the most important things of any business, to track your market, to track your growth as well. So all the best in your business, all the best everybody. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to Gabriel. I reach out to Auntie. For some reason, I just cannot remember her name. You can always reach out to Auntie. If you have me, if you did the one-on-one session with me and you need anything like off the bat or top line, you just need to run any ideas by me, you can always just shoot me a message and I will answer. So if there's finally no other question, okay, thank you.
Wait, I have one, just a small one. I didn't
Sure.
know how to ask it, but I noticed like some caterers or some chefs, they add like music to them stuff, and I think that adds to the feel and the flavor and stuff. I'm not sure how them do that, like which app them use. Or that's like,
you can use, so for the basic, you can use like InShot. So InShot, you can really Google. There are various apps and you can really add background music to it. You can use there's one that I use personally when I can't use Photoshop. I use my audio software. So you can just use InShot. You can Google it. It's sort of a free app, InShot.
and Instagram won't take it down for copyright. Like
So if you adding music to it, so what you have to do a lot of times, even when I put music, when you're in the caption, just say music by. What you can do as well is you can just download like a little instrumental and place it below the music. So what will happen is that because the instrumental is free, automatically it merges with the music, so it's not really copyright. But don't do it. And if you're using the music, though, if it got at Abigail, if you're using the music, always ensure that you say Instagram will not take down your post if you put it in the caption that music by coffee and music by I did it before putting paper, and I realized when I started to say that the music is by I do not own the rights to this music, then yeah, it will work. So you have to know the kinks around get into it. But if you just put it up and I don't put it in that it's music by, but you can always, if you want to really get around it, the music, let's say for example, Coffee sing a song, just put a little background music underneath it, and Instagram will not pick it up as a copyright.
What was the name of the app that you mentioned earlier? InShot?
Insight.
Yeah, InShot, InShot. InShot. So it edits video, photos, and it creates collages as well. And it also is a nice like a free app. It also, if you have a video that you want to post on IGTV and it's too big, it also can reframe it. Just something to note. To get when you reframe the Canva and you realize the InShot logo come and it just use a black background. So the black background, the logo will not show. So that's a little quirk.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, hopefully that answered the question, Martin.
Yes, it did. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Nobody has any more questions? All right, so we would like to thank Mr. Charlton for his presentation tonight. I'm sure we've all learned a lot about, increasing our social media presence and how to really market ourselves. So we just want to thank you, Mr. Charlton, again, for taking the time to speak to us tonight. All right. Okay, so at this time.
Thank you. Yeah. And just one thing that in the introduction, I am not a graduate of the University of the West Indies. I'm a graduate.
Exactly. I couldn't believe when I heard that.
I apologize for that.
I am. I know, Gabby. Abigail. My bad. I am actually attending UWI now, where I am pursuing my degree. The first one was in Communication, Arts and Technology, which is BCAT. Now I am actually at UWI doing international relations. So big up my UTech massive, you know, I'm coming on a UTech shirt because a UTech, you know, if you go U with no offense, I still go U, but a UTech the thing there.
Of course, obviously.
All
right, guys. So thank you for having me.
All right, take care. Thanks. Good
See you
night.
on. Good night.
Thanks,
Okay.
Neville.
All right, so I'm gonna do the reminders. No, or should I? All right, so the reminders for tonight. Give me a second.